Hi, I am Richard Igwebun, the founder and lead training architect at Unix Training Academy. I've spent over 17 years working in IT, working in Linux, cloud, and DevOps technologies, helping IT professionals, students, and teams across industries become confident in system administration and automation. In this training series, we take a hands-on approach to learning. Every topic is simplified, practical, and designed to help you master real-world skills that matter in today's IT world. So, grab your notes, follow along, and remember, we learn IT by doing. So, let's get started. Welcome to section 1.1, Introduction to Linux. Linux is a powerful open source operating system used around the world in everything from smartphones to supercomputers. It was created initially by Linus Torvald in 1991. Since then, Linux has grown into a secure, stable, and reliable platform that powers much of today's IT infrastructure. Why learn Linux? Here is why Linux is worth your attention. First, ubiquity. Linux powers the majority of servers and cloud platforms around the world. Second, career demand. Linux is a core skill for system administrators, DevOps engineers, cybersecurity analysts, and cloud professionals. Third, flexibility. With deep customization and automation capabilities through the command line, Linux allows you to tailor it to your exact needs. Fourth, stability and security. Linux is known for high performance, uptime, and being extremely secure, trusted in mission-critical environments. Fifth, cost effectiveness. Linux is free or low cost, making it an ideal option for students, startups, and enterprises alike. And here is the fun fact. The Linux mascot is a friendly penguin named Tux. In summary, Linux is essential, flexible, career boosting, and here to stay. Let's keep exploring. Great job making it through this section. When you're ready, I will see you in the next section. Until then, stay curious and keep learning because at Unix Training Academy, we learn IT by doing. Welcome to section 1.2, Open Source Software. Open Source Software, or OSS, is a software with source code that anyone can inspect, modify, and enhance. The principles of open source. Open source is built on collaboration and transparency. It is a global movement that empowers innovation. Key features of open source software. Freedom to use. There are no vendor lock-ins. Freedom to modify. Developers can tailor the code to their exact needs. Freedom to distribute. Share the software freely, whether original or modified. Benefits of using open source. Control. Users have full visibility and control over the code. Security. Vulnerabilities are disclosed and patched faster. Another one, cost. Most open source software is free or low cost, saving money on licenses. Another one is innovation. Features evolve quickly thanks to the community input. Types of open source licenses. Copyleft licenses like the GPL require all modified versions to remain open source. Another type of license is permissive licenses like MIT and Apache allow for integration into proprietary software. So, why it all matters? Open source powers most of today's infrastructure, from operating systems like Linux to tools like Docker and Kubernetes. In summary, open source software fuels innovation, enhances security, and gives users freedom and flexibility.
Great job making it through this section. Before you move on, take a few minutes to review the flashcards and complete the guided exercise and labs if available. Remember, consistency is the key. The more you practice, the more confident you will become. When you're ready, I will see you in the next section. Until then, stay curious and keep learning because at Unix Training Academy, we learn IT by doing.
Welcome back. In this section, let's talk about Linux distributions or distros are different flavors of Linux operating system. They all share the same Linux kernel, but package it with different tools like libraries and interfaces. You can think of the kernel as the engine and the distro as the full vehicle built around it. There are hundreds of Linux distros, but in the Red Hat ecosystem, three stand out. First, Fedora, a community-driven, fast-moving distro. It's often used for developers and testing, and it's where innovation happens first. Second, CentOS acts as the upstream preview of Red Hat Enterprise Linux or RHEL. It's a rolling release version that shows what's coming next in RHEL. Third, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, a commercial enterprise grade distro. It's stable, certified, and supported, perfect for production environments. Each of these serves a unique purpose. Fedora is ideal for developers and power users. CentOS is great for staging and testing. RHEL is trusted for mission-critical enterprise deployments. Fun fact: innovations often start in Fedora, move to CentOS and eventually make their way into RHEL. So whether you're tinkering, testing, or building enterprise systems, there's a distro for your needs. Nice work finishing this section. Keep practicing, and when you're ready, let's move on to the next topic. See you there. Red Hat is one of the most influential companies in the open source software world. It doesn't just use open source, it actively develops, supports, and funds it. One of Red Hat's biggest contributions is the Fedora project. Fedora serves as Red Hat's upstream innovation lab, where new technologies are tested and refined. Another Red Hat initiative is CentOS Stream, a bridge between Fedora and Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Meanwhile, CentOS stands for Community Enterprise Operating System. CentOS Stream offers a preview of what's coming in the next version of RHEL, the next version of Red Hat. RHEL itself is Red Hat's flagship product, an enterprise-grade Linux distribution. So, it is stable, secure, and supported with long-term updates, certifications, and enterprise support. But Red Hat doesn't stop at operating systems. It also supports and contributes to critical open source tools like Ansible, Podman, and systemd. Red Hat provides free RHEL access for learning and development through its developer subscription program. With this program, students and professionals can build real-world skills using enterprise-grade Linux. Red Hat engineers contribute to thousands of open source projects around the globe. Their commitment to the open source community strengthens innovation, security, and collaboration. So, in short, Red Hat is the driving force behind both enterprise Linux and the open source ecosystem. Nice work finishing this section. Keep practicing, and when you're ready, let's move on to the next topic. See you there. Welcome back. Welcome to section 1.5, where we take a look at how we can obtain Linux. There are several popular distributions you can download and install right away. First up, Fedora, available at getfedora.org. Fedora is cutting edge. It is updated frequently and ideal for developers, making it an excellent choice for developers and power users. The next one is CentOS Stream, found at centos.org/CentOS-stream. CentOS Stream is great for testing and previewing what's coming in the next version of Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Then we have Red Hat Enterprise Linux, RHEL, available for free through the Red Hat Developer subscription. You can sign up and download RHEL at developers.redhat.com. Want to use Linux in the cloud? Platforms like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud offer ready-to-use Linux instances. For example, AWS EC2 lets you launch RHEL, Ubuntu, or Amazon Linux with just a few clicks. You can also run Linux locally on your computer using virtual machines. Tools like VirtualBox, VMware, or GNOME boxes makes it simple and free. Do you prefer lightweight environments? If you do, try Linux containers using Docker or Podman. Containers are fast, isolated, and great for experimenting with Linux tools. No matter your setup, cloud, local VM, or container, there is a Linux option that fits. Get started today and begin exploring the power of Linux hands-on. For the rest of this tutorial, our focus will be on Red Hat Linux. We'll prepare you to become an enterprise-level certified Red Hat System Administrator and ready to take and pass Red Hat Certified System Administrator exam. Nice work finishing this section. Keep practicing, and when you're ready, let's move on to the next topic. See you there.
Learn IT by doing. Now it's time to put theory into practice. Our approach is designed to help you apply what you learn effectively.
Hello everyone, my name is Richard, and in this video I'm going to show you how to download VMware Workstation Pro from Broadcom. As you know, VMware is now owned by Broadcom, and some people have been asking me, Richard, how do you download VMware Workstation Pro? So I'm going to go ahead to do that with you on Broadcom website, step by step, with no step skipped. First of all, you're going to go to broadcom.com. When you come here, you want to register an account, okay? And to register an account with Broadcom, you click on the right side here under the support portal. You click on the drop down menu and you click here to register. Okay, let's go ahead and log in. Click on login. Provide your username. Click on next. Put in your password. Then sign in. Say never. Once you sign in, you're going to see your name on top right here. So when you see your name on top right, once you log in, you're going to see your name on the top right here and this icon beside your
login name, you want to click on the drop down menu, then you go to VMware Cloud Foundation. Click on that. So here on the left side here, you're going to see some menus. You can click on My Downloads and you will see My Downloads VMware Cloud Foundation. So here you're going to search for VMware Workstation Pro. You can search for it here. So VMware Workstation. VMware Workstation Pro. So you click on that. So you're going to see different versions of VMware Workstation Pro. You're going to see version 17.0, version 17.0 for Windows, for Linux. You want to download the one for Windows. So you click on this. Then you have this release 17.6.2. That's the latest version. You click on that. Then you agree to their terms and conditions. And on the top, on the right here, you see screening required. So you click on that. So prior to downloading this file, additional verification is required. Proceed. You say yes, proceed. So you're required to fill in this information. And when you finish filling it in, you click on submit. Fill in your city. And my state is Texas. So make sure everything in red is filled up. Agree. Then click on submit. Oh, the address here. I need to fill the address. Then click on submit. Zip code. No thanks. So once you do that, the next thing will be for you to click on this button that now says HTTPS download. Click on that and you will see VMware Workstation Pro downloading here. Okay, so this is how to download VMware Workstation Pro from the new Broadcom website. With this VMware Workstation Pro, we're going to use it as our hypervisor to install virtual machines. Okay, so as soon as it finishes downloading, we will install it. And installing it is just go to the download folder, double click on it, and just install it the normal way you would install a software. So thanks for watching. I will see you on the next video.
Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a Red Hat account. To create a Red Hat account, you simply need to go to your web browser and type developers.redhat.com. Once you do that and the page opens up, on the top right here, you want to click on Login and you want to go to Register a Red Hat account. Click on that. Then put your account information, the username you want to use, make sure everything is correct. I'm going to put a username, Richard247. Make sure the username is unique. Okay, so that is taking Richard247. Password, make sure your password is at least 14 characters and it means the password policies. So I'm going to put my password. Okay, next you're going to put your personal information, put in your name, your last name, and your email address. I am going to use this email, reigwebu@yahoo.com. Under job role, you can choose System Administrator. Then your country is United States. You can opt in to receive marketing information if you want. Otherwise, go ahead and click these three boxes to agree the terms and conditions and click on Create Account. So the account is created, but you need to go to that email to confirm your email address before we come back and continue. So I'm going to pause my video, go to my email address, confirm it, and we'll come back and continue. So once you have verified your email address, then it will take you to this window. If you click here on the top right here, you will see my information. So that is how to create a Red Hat account. Welcome back. In the previous video, we downloaded and installed VMware Workstation Pro on our Windows machine. So if you have succeeded in doing that exercise by downloading VMware Workstation Pro from Broadcom website and installed it, your Windows will look like this. Okay. In this video, we're going to see how to build up our labs by installing virtual machines that we're going to use for this class training. Our virtual machines will be here. We're going to install 3 virtual machines. One is going to be our workstation. One is going to be our server A. Another one is going to be server B. They will all line up here when we finish creating the virtual machines. But before we create the virtual machine, we're going to download the operating system which we are going to use. For this exercise, we're going to be using Red Hat operating system. So we're going to jump into Red Hat website and download Red Hat server. So if you go to developers.redhat.com and you sign into your Red Hat account, I'm going to sign into my account. So once you have signed into your Red Hat account, you're going to see the avatar here on the right. That shows that you have logged into your Red Hat account. So you want to click on the search button here and type Linux. Then click on search. Then you click on view downloads. And when you scroll down to downloads, you're going to see all downloads here. We'll be downloading Red Hat 9. The latest version of Red Hat 9 is Red Hat 9.5. So you want to click on this drop down arrow here, and the one you want to download is the DVD ISO. We want to download x86-64 DVD ISO. So click on this link, click on it once, and the download should start shortly. So if you look here, you see that the download is happening. Okay, so on the top right here, if I click on this, you see that the Red Hat 9.5 image is being downloaded. So once it is done downloading, we're going to use it to create and install virtual machines. So as soon as it is done downloading, it will be saved in your download folder unless you decide to move it somewhere else. So let's wait for it to finish downloading, then you will see it. Okay, so the software is done downloading. If we go to our download folder, we'll go to downloads, then you see the server here. You can see Red Hat version 9.0. Okay, so we're going to use this image in the next exercise to install virtual machines on our VMware. So at the end of the day, we'll have 3 virtual machines like this in this environment. Thanks for watching this video. My name is Richard Igwebu, and I will see you on the next one.
Great job making it through this section. Before you move on, take a few minutes to review the flashcards and complete the guided exercise and labs if available. The more you practice, the more confident you will become. When you're ready, I will see you in the next section. Until then, stay curious and keep learning, because at Unix Training Academy, we learn IT by doing.
Welcome back. In the previous video, we downloaded Red Hat Enterprise Linux image from Red Hat website. In this video, we are going to use that image to create a virtual machine in our VMware workstation. Looking at our VMware workstation, when you install it from fresh, it will look like this. There is no virtual machine here, but we're going to use this information to create a virtual machine in that VMware. The virtual machine we are going to create will be 3 virtual machines. One will be called workstation. This will be the host name of the workstation. We'll change it after we have installed it. The hard drive size is going to be 20 gigabyte. The operating system will be Red Hat Enterprise Linux 5. Excuse my spelling here. Red Hat Enterprise Linux 5, and the RAM size is going to be 2 gigabyte, and the operating system type of the software we're going to be server with GUI. So let's go ahead and start creating our first virtual machine, which will be our workstation. So in here, we can create a virtual machine either by clicking here to create a virtual machine, or we go to File and click on New Virtual Machine. Either of them is fine. I'm going to go ahead and click on Create New Virtual Machine. I'm going to click on Next, and here I will say I will install operating system later. I'm going to click on Next, and you're going to choose the type of operating system here. The operating system we're installing is Linux. I will leave it as it is. The version of Linux is Linux version 9, and the architecture is 64-bit. I will leave it as it is, but if you click on this drop down menu, you're going to choose different version of operating system you are installing. I'm leaving mine at Red Hat version 9. If you're installing version 8, 7, 6, 5 and so on, or even if you're installing Windows machine or SUSE Linux or other operating system, you can choose them from here. I will leave mine at Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9 64-bit. I'm going to go ahead and click on Next. Then you're going to give your virtual machine a name. I'm going to call mine Workstation, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Next. The size, the disk size, we agreed we're going to have disk size of 20 gigabyte. If you look at this, you will see that our hard drive will be set to 20 gigabyte. That's what we have chosen. Then I'm going to go ahead and leave every setting as it is and click on Next. Here we'll take a look at our settings. You see the hard disk is 20 gigabyte. The memory we say is going to be 2 gigabyte, as 2048 megabyte. The network adapter, I'll leave it at NAT, and the CPUs, we will leave it at 2 CPUs. Okay, I'm going to click on Finish. So I have created the first virtual machine. Okay, the next thing will be to install the operating system. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this CD DVD setter. Double click on that, and we're going to attach our operating system, which is the Red Hat image that we downloaded. Okay, so here I'm going to say use auto detect here. If I click on auto detect, then it will automatically detect the operating system, but I'm not going to leave it at auto detect. I will say use the ISO image file. So I'm going to click on Browse. Then I'll go to my download folder. You see the operating system I just downloaded. Click on it. The reason why you see this one in bracket is because I have previously downloaded this ISO image, and this is another one. That is why you see one in bracket. If you download it again, you will see two, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Open. Then here, you're going to leave everything as it is and click on OK. So now we are ready to begin installation. We're just going to go ahead and click and power on this machine, power it on. And once you power it on, you see this countdown clock is hitting from 59 seconds. You want to click inside here, okay, to stop it from counting down. If you stop it from counting down, automatically it will begin to install this test media and install Red Hat Enterprise Linux 5. We don't want to install the media one, we want to install the first one. So we click anywhere in here, okay, and press any button. So we can go ahead and press the up arrow button to select the up one, or the down arrow button to select any of them, but we will select the first one, which says install Red Hat Enterprise Linux 5. Then go ahead and press enter. Okay, so here we're going to choose our language. I'm in the US and I speak US English. I'm going to go ahead and click on continue. If you speak other languages, you can choose them from here. In here, we want to make sure that everything that is highlighted here in is it yellow? Anything with this warning sign has to be taken care of. So if you look here, we say our keyboard is English US, we'll leave it as it is. Our language support will be in English US. The time zone, I'm in Houston, Texas, and our time clock is in Chicago. That is where I will leave it at. But if I click on it, you can decide any of these time zones. Let's say I am in Africa, for example. You can select Africa and you select your city in Africa or your country in Africa. For example, if you are in Nigeria, you select Lagos. That is where Nigerian clock is. If you are anywhere else in Africa, Brazzaville, Bissau, and so on. For those people in the other part of the world, if you are in maybe Asia, you select your city in Asia. Okay, all these cities are in Asia, Dubai, and so on. If you are in Pacific, Indian Ocean, Europe, if you're in Europe, for example, you can select Amsterdam, or you go down and select somewhere like London. If you're in England, select London. But I'm in the US, I'm going to leave it at Americas, and in Americas, I will select our time clock. Our time clock is in Chicago. So I'm going to go down to Chicago. So you want to click on done. Then the next thing is as software. We'll leave this as it is for now. Installation source, we will have to leave it as it is. We're installing from our local media. Software selection is server with GUI. That is why I said here type. I said server with GUI. Okay, so in software selection, it's going to be server with GUI. We'll leave it as it is. Then the installation destination is we'll choose the disk where it will be installed. Remember that this is a virtual machine and the disk comes from our host operating system, which is our Windows laptop in this case. So you click on that and make sure that this is selected. Sometimes you might have more than one disk, but in this case we have only one disk, and this good checked mark is there, which means it is selected. We'll leave everything as it is and come here and click on done. Then you can see that that warning sign is gone. Care dump, I will click on care dump and I'm going to disable kdump and click on done. Network and host name, we agreed here that the host name should be workstation.lab.example.com. I'm not going to change the host name now. In another video, we will change the host name. But if you want to change it here, you can click on network and host name. So let's click on the network and host name. We'll see the server's IP address and the DNS information and the default route. Assuming that I want to change the host name, which I can actually do here, I'll come here and put the host name, which is workstation.lab.example.com. In the next video, when I set up the other virtual machine, I will not set the host name like this. I will set it on the command line so you guys can see either way it works. They want to go ahead and click on apply. Okay, then click on done. Next is we take care of the user settings. Root password. By default, a root account is disabled, but if you give root a password, you can enable that. So we click on root password here and provide a password for root. For the purpose of this lab, I am going to use the password for root will be red hat. Okay, and I'm going to confirm it, red hat. I'm not going to lock root account. I'll leave it as it is. Then I'm going to click on done. It is warning me that the password is weak. Okay, but if you still want to use it anyway, you click on done again. Then we're going to create our first user. Our first user in this system, I'm going to call it student user. I will also expect you to call your own student user, but the username will be student. Okay, I'm going to give the student password. Give a password that you can remember. I'm using red hat. Because the password is weak, the system wants you here that the password fails dictionary check. The password should not be a dictionary word, but in this case, if you still want to go ahead and use it, click on done twice. Click on the first done, you still have the warning. Click on the second done, then it will accept it. At this point, you are ready to begin installation. So this blue begin installation button will be highlighted if everything here is okay. Then click on begin installation. The next thing is that it's going to be a waiting game. We're going to wait for some time. When the system is fully installed, okay, we will see this button here on the bottom right here, reboot system, will turn to blue. Then we will reboot the system and the system will be ready for us to use. So as you can see, the system is done installing. The reboot button is now blue, so we can go ahead and do a reboot. But if you look at this one in here, it says user of this product is subject to the license agreement found at user share red hat release user license agreement. Okay, if we click on that, or if you go to this if you go to this directory or to this location, you will see the license agreement. Okay, it's in the user share red hat release / end user license agreement. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on reboot. The system will be rebooted, and after that we'll be ready to use the server. Okay, the system is done rebooting, and this is our workstation. Okay, this video is a bit long, but this is about one of the longest videos we ever have, but I suggest you pause the video, go forward and backward, and watch the video and set up your own workstation. I'm going to also set up another server, which will be our server A. To do that, I'm going to click on File. I'm going to go to New Virtual Machine, just like we did before. I'm going to go to Next. I will say I will install operating system later. I'm going to go to Next. It's a Linux machine, version 9. I'm going to go to Next. I'm going to give it a name. I will call it Server B, or Server A, sorry. The other one workstation, this is Server A. I'm going to go to Next. I'm going to leave the size to be 20 gigabyte. I'm going to go to Next. I'm going to leave everything as it is and click on Finish. So on the left side here, you see workstation, you see Server A. So I'm going to go and click on this CD/DVD setter. When you click on that, you come here, you will say use ISO image file. Already 9.5 is already pre-selected for me. I'm going to just go ahead and click on OK. Then I will start up this operating system. But before I start this up, we mentioned that we're going to use 2 RAM. I'm actually going to change this to 1 because this is a minimal install. We don't need to have 2 megabytes of RAM. So I'll click on memory and I will change it. Instead of 2 megabytes, I will say 1 megabyte, 1 gigabyte. 1 gigabyte is fine. So I'm going to say OK. So the memory is now 1 gigabyte. So I'm going to go ahead and power on this machine so I can begin installation, just like we did on the other workstation. So again, I'm going to click any button here and press the up arrow one to select the first one to install Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9.5 and press enter. Again here, I'm going to select English United States and click on next or continue. Here again, you want to make sure that all the warnings are taken care of. I'm going to go to installation destination. Before I go, if I click on installation destination, you want to choose your partitioning. Click on that and make sure that this is checked. Then click on done. Then go to kdump, click on kdump and disable the kdump, click on done. Go to your network and host name. I'm not going to change it right here. I'll show you how to change the host name on the command line later on. Software selection. Before we left the server with GUI, we're going to use minimal install here. Minimal install. And click on done. The minimal install will install just the basic configuration that we need to run a server. It's not going to be graphical user interface like we did in the workstation. It's just going to be the command line. Then under the root password, I'm going to select my root password here. I will use Red Hat as my root password. Put the same thing here and click on done twice. Then for user creation, I'm going to call my user student user and the username will be student. I am going to require a password to use this account and the password will be Red Hat, and I'm going to type Red Hat again and click on done and done again. Then I'm ready to begin installation. Click on begin installation and wait for it to continue running until if it is fully installed, then we will see the reboot button here turn blue, then we will install it. Okay, again, the server is done installing. I'm going to go ahead and click on reboot. Okay, so the Reboot has been done. As you can see, unlike the workstation, this is just showing you the login prompt. Just to log in. Is not a graphical user interface like you're seeing here in the workstation, where you will see your student user here and it's asking you to log in. In Server A, it's just showing you the login prompt. So this is how to install the minimal version of the operating system, Server A. So the next thing now we're going to do is to install Server B. But I'm not going to go through the whole process of installing Server B again, just like as I did with Server A. What I'm going to do is to clone Server A, and we will have Server B. Before I can perform a clone of Server A, I will have to shut it down. Click on this drop down arrow here and click on power off. Make sure you do that while Server A is selected. Click on power off. So Server A is now powered off. To clone this Server A, while it is selected here, you can click on VM, then click on Manage here and go to Clone and click on Next and click on Next. You want to do a full clone. The full clone will get a new IP address and a new network interface and a new MAC address that will be independent of the previous one. But if you select a linked clone is just a reference to the original virtual machine and requires less disk space to store, but it cannot run without access to the original virtual machine. We want two of them to be independent. That's why I want to select create a full clone, which is a complete copy of the original virtual machine at its current state. This virtual machine is fully independent but requires more disk space to store. Select the second one and click on Next. And you're going to call it a name. The name selected here is clone of Server A. I'm just going to remove that and call it Server B and click on Finish. Then that will clone Server A and call it Server B. Click on Close. Momentarily, you will see Server B show up here. You see, so we now have our lab set up. We have 3 virtual machines we're going to be working with. We have Server A, we have workstation, we have Server A, and we have Server B. So in the next video, we're going to see how to actually use these virtual machines and perform more lab setup. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Richard Igwebu. I will see you on the next video. Welcome back. In this video, we're going to see how to actually log into these virtual machines we have created. We're going to see how to make the servers talk to each other by configuring the host names, by configuring the host files, by telling Server A, hey, this is your IP address, or Server B, this is your IP address, and also making sure that the IP address and the host names can be recognized on each server. So to do that, I'm going to log into the workstation, select the workstation, and once it's selected, you come here and click on student user and log in with that password which you used to create a student account, which in this case is Red Hat. Okay. Also, I'm going to log into Server A and Server B, but let's start with the workstation. Workstation is where we install the graphical user interface. I'm going to say no thanks for taking this tour, but to open a terminal, when you see this warning, system not registered with Red Hat, don't worry about it. We'll come to it later on. Just X out. So to open the terminal, you click on this terminal window here. Then this window will pop out. I just want to expand this screen. To expand it, put your cursor here and do a double click. Then that will expand the screen. And your font, if it is too tiny for you and you want to increase the font, press the Shift key, press the Control key on your keyboard, and also press the Shift key together and press the plus sign. That will increase your font. And if you want to decrease your font, press the Shift key, press the Control button, and then press the Control button only and press the negative sign. That will reduce the font. Okay, so I'm here. You can see here workstation is typed. That is the name of the server because we changed it when we are creating it. But if I type host name, you will see that the host name, the fully qualified domain name, the full host name is workstation.lab.example.com, but the short name is just workstation. This is in this workstation. But if I go to server A and power it on, and also go to server B and power it on, when I go back to the workstation, I want to find out the IP address of the workstation. IP address is a number that is assigned to this server that identifies the server. To get the IP address, I can just type IP space A and press enter. You are going to be looking for ENS160 and you're looking for the line that says INET. So the IP address is this. I'm going to copy the whole of this, do a right click, copy it, and I'm going to put this in a notepad. Okay, I'm going to just create a new notepad and paste the IP address here. So this is the IP address of the workstation. Okay, next I'm going to go to server A and get the IP address of server A. Don't worry about all this other information, we'll get to them later on. So I'm going to go to server A. Because server A is a minimal install, we're not going to see a graphical user interface. All we'll see is a login screen and it will prompt us to log in. I'm going to log in as that user student. Make sure you click inside this black screen and type student. Our student should be showing as you're typing it. You press enter. It's asking you for password for the user student. Type the password that you used when you created the server. I use Red Hat as the password. But as I type the password, nothing will show on the screen for security reasons, but the system is recognizing your keystroke. So my password is Red Hat, which I have typed, then press enter. See, I have logged in as the user student. Here you see here localhost. Localhost shows up here because I have not changed the host name. If I type host name, you will see that the original host name is localhost.localdomain. Because I have not changed it, that is the host name. But I'm going to go ahead and get the IP address for server A by typing IP space A and pressing enter. You will see that the IP address is 172.250.25.250.197. So I'm also going to put it somewhere here. 197. So the first three, this first, my bad. This first three, 172.20.25.250 will remain the same. The only difference is the last one, which is called the last octet, and the value for here, the IP address here is 197. So I'm going to put that here, 197. This is for server B. For server A, excuse me. Then we'll go to server B. Go to server B and log into server B and get our IP address. To log in, I'm going to log in as user student and type my password. I'm going to type IP space A to get the IP address. The IP address here is 198. So I'm going to put it here for server B, that the IP address is 172.25.250.198. With this, I am now ready to map the host name to the IP address. For the first one, this is the host name. This is the IP address 178. So to write this in the host file, I am going to do this. Because we have not learned how to use a VI editor, we're going to type this and put it to that host name, to that host file. So I'm going to type 170. I want to type this command echo 172 dot. If you type echo, put it in quotes. I'm going to type 172.25.250.128. That is the IP address of the workstation. And I'm going to put the fully qualified domain name of the workstation, which is workstation.lab.example.com. And I'm going to put the short name for the workstation, which is workstation. So I'm saying that in server A, in the workstation, this is the IP address. We can also call it workstation.lab.example.com, or we can identify it simply as workstation. Workstation. Make sure I don't make any mistake in the spelling. Then it close this quote and redirect this, put this double redirection sign to /etc/hosts. So we'll do this on each server. Okay. For the server B, we'll say echo. We'll do the same thing. We are doing this now on the workstation. We'll do it on all the servers. So for the workstation, I have done the first one, which is saying that the workstation is mapped to this fully qualified domain name and also using the short name. I'm going to do the same thing to the server A, which is the IP address is, I'm going to say echo 172.25.250.197, and the fully qualified domain name is server A dot lab dot example.com. Okay, you close, you give a space and you type the short name, which is server A, and you close your quote and you do this double redirection sign and put it in /etc/hosts. Okay, we'll do the same thing still on the workstation. We'll type echo, put a quote, put the IP address of server B, which is 172.25.250.198. We'll give a space and we'll put the fully qualified domain name, which is server B in this case, .lab.example.com. We'll give a space and we'll put the short name, which is server B. Okay, make sure everything is spelled correctly. See here, we miss server B here. It should be server B.lab.example.com, and we close our quote and we'll use the double greater than sign, which I will explain to you what it means in the next couple of chapters. Put /etc/b/hosts. So we're going to run this command on the workstation line by line like this, and also run it on server A and server B. Correct this here, server B. So we're going to go to the workstation. Okay, copy the whole of this line, do a right click and copy. We go to the workstation. Okay, the screen is, after some time of inactivity, the screen will blank out. You click here to unlock the screen. I'm going to show you how to stop the screen from timing out. Put your password Then here we are going to switch user to root. I'm going to show you how to do all that, but for now just type SU, I press enter, then type your password for root, which you used when you created the account, which is Red Hat. You press enter. Now we are root. So we can run the first command, do a right click and paste it there, then press enter. That is done. What it simply means is that the system will copy all this thing and put it in the host file. And I'm going to do the same thing for the server A. I'll copy it. Still go to the workstation, do right click and paste it and press enter. Then for the server B, we'll do the same thing, copy the IP address. Okay, do right click, copy it, and go here, do right click and paste. Then we'll press enter. So, okay, there's an error here. Record the command. We did not close the quote here. You see, this last quote should be there. And we'll press enter. And that last quote should be here. Because we put the opening quote, we should close it. So what we have done here is, in the workstation, we have said that the server A should be recognized using this IP address, or server a.lab.example.com, or server A. Just like you saying your name is mapped to your social security number, is mapped to your first name and your last name, or they can call you using your nickname. That is what this host file is all about. So we're going to also do the same thing onto the server A and server B. So to do that, we are going to log into server A and server B from this. Okay, so we're going to use the tool called SSH. Now we know the IP address of server A. We can use the IP address to log into server A from the workstation. But that will be in the next video, where I will show you how to log into the server A and server B from the workstation and put all these three things we have done, these three lines, put them also in the server A and server B. So I'll see you in the next video. Nice work finishing this section. Keep practicing, and when you're ready, let's move on to the next topic. See you there. Okay, so we're going to go to server A and we will configure the host file and the host name in server A. So I'm going to click on server A. I've already logged into server A. If I type host name, you will see the host name is localhost.localdomain. We want the host name to be server a.lab.example.com. This. So for us to change the host name, we need to switch user to root. I will show you guys what it means to switch user to root. But for now, this $sign means we are ordinary user. So type SU and press enter and provide your root password and press enter. So we are now root. Okay, I'm going to run these commands again to put them in the host file. So I'm going to type echo, put a quote, put the IP address of the workstation, which is 172.25.250.128. As you guys can see here, 128. I will put this full qualified domain name. So I'm going to say workstation. sorry, this is server A. I'm going to say workstation.lab.example.com. Sorry, workstation.lab.example.com. Okay, I'm going to give a space and type workstation for the short name. Close the quote, use this double greater than sign and send the output to /etc/hosts. Press enter. I'm going to do the same thing for server A. So what I'm going to do is, if we press the up arrow key to record the command, instead of typing everything all over, I will change this to server A, and I will change this here to server A, and I will change the IP address to 197.197. Okay, excuse me. Everything is okay. You press enter. That is done. Do it again for server B. So we'll change server A to server B. I will change it here to server B. I will change the IP address to from 197 to 198. Okay, we'll press enter. So we have finished configuring the host name for server A. I mean the host file for server A. But if we type host name here, you see that the host name is still localhost or local domain. So let us change the host name by running this command host name ctl set dash host name, and the host name is going to be server A dot lab dot example dot com. I'll press enter. So when we type host name again, we'll see that our host name is now changed to server A dot lab dot example dot com. We're going to repeat exactly this we did on the server A in server B. So going to server B, we're going to switch that to as root, type su, press enter, and type our root password. Okay, so we're going to run the echo command again. Echo, open this quote. Our IP address of the workstation is 172.25.250.128. That's the IP address of the workstation, and the fully qualified domain name is workstation.lab.example.com, and the short name is just workstation. We close the quote. We are sending the whole of this output to be written to the file called etc hosts. We press enter, and that is done. So we press the up arrow key to recall the last command, and I'm going to change workstation to server A, and also change workstation here to server A. We're just setting up our lab. After we finish setting up our lab, you'll be able to understand all these things that we are doing now. And the IP address here is 197. We press enter. Press the up arrow key to recall the command again, and change server A to server B, and change it here, server A here to server B, and make sure you change the IP address from 197 to 198. You press enter. Okay, so we have finished configuring the etc host here. If I type host name, you will see that the host name is still localhost.local domain. So let us change the host name by running the command host name ctl space set dash hostname, and the fully qualified domain name is serverb.lab.example.com. When we press enter, I will type host name again. The host name is set. So what we have done now is that we have told the system that please identify server A using this IP address. Identify server A using this IP address, or using this fully qualified domain name, or using its short name. The same thing, identify server B using this IP address, or using its fully qualified domain name, or using its short name. So this is how to configure the host name and the host file. In the next video, I will show you how to communicate from server A to server B and from server B to server A and vice versa with their IP address and with their host names. Thanks for watching this video. My name is Richard Igwebu. I will see you on the next one. Welcome back, guys. So we have finished configuring the workstation, the host name, and the host file. We have finished doing it in the workstation, server A and server B. So how do we make sure that server A can talk to server B and the workstation can talk to server A? First of all, I'm going to exit from root here. You don't have to, but to exit from root, just type exit. So how to test connectivity between one server and the other is we use the command ping. So if I type ping and I put the IP address of server A, which is 172.25.250.197. If I press enter here, you will see this happening. It means that server workstation is talking to server A. This will continue to happen like this until you press Ctrl C to stop it. So let's try if it can talk to server A using the host name. So press up arrow key to record the command, and instead of using the IP address, I'm going to say ping server A. See, same thing is happening. It is responding to my ping, meaning that the workstation can communicate with server A using the IP address or using the short name in this case. Now let's do the ping again, and we'll use the fully qualified domain name. So I'm going to say ping server A dot lab dot example.com. I'll press enter. So it is responding to our ping, meaning the server A and the workstation and server B can talk to each other, at least from the workstation. So let's try if we can do the same thing from server A and server B. So going to server A, I'm going to say ping workstation. I press enter, and as you can see, server A is pinging the workstation using the name workstation. If I press Ctrl C and I say ping using the IP address of the workstation, which is 172.25.250.128, I press enter. It is pinging. Okay, so, and if I press Ctrl C here, let me see if I can ping using the short name, which is ping. The short name is workstation. So it's responding. So what are we learning from here? What we're learning is that the IP address of the workstation is mapped to the fully qualified domain name and the short name. We'll do the same thing on server B. I'm going to say from server B, I will type ping server A. Server B can ping server A, but in this case it's not pinging, so that means something is wrong. Ping server A. Okay, it's pinging. It's just some network latency. So server B is pinging server A using the word server A. So if I press Ctrl C, so I'm going to say ping server A dot lab dot example dot com. I press enter. So from server B, we are pinging server A using the fully qualified domain name. So it's that's kind of some network latency, some delay, but it says server A.lab.example.com, name or service not known. It means that there is something wrong with the host file in this server A or server B. Now looking at the command we run here, echo 192. Okay, I see. We made a mistake. If you guys look here in our echo command, instead of saying echo 192, it's saying echo 1972. That is a mistake on our part. So to correct that, I'm going to do what we call VI. You don't understand it, we have not done it yet, but when we are running the command, make sure you put 172 and not 1972. Let me quickly correct that by saying VI to etc host. You won't understand this now, but what I'm saying is, if you look here, you will see 1972, 1972, 1972. That is not correct. It should be 172. So I'm going to correct it by deleting that 9 here, and deleting that 9 here, and deleting that 9 here. So it should be 172.25.250.198 server B.lab.example.com server A.lab.example.com server A. Okay, everything is correct now. So I'll save this file. You will learn how to do editing later on. So let's go ahead and say ping server A.lab.example.com again. Let's do that. See, it's pinging. It's no more complaining. And we can say ping server A only. It's pinging, and we can say ping only the IP address of server A, which is ping IP address of server A, which is pinging 172.25.250.197. That's the IP address of server A. And you can see it's pinging. So this is how to communicate from one server to another server. This is how to make sure that all the servers can talk to each other. If they cannot talk to each other, we cannot do certain things that we want to do. So thanks again for watching this video. Again, my name is Richard Igwebu, and I will see you on the next video. Alright guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to navigate around the graphical user interface of a server that has full server with GUI. If you look at the screen here, the screen is locked, just like your normal laptop will lock out when you leave it unattended. So if your screen is locked like this, to unlock your screen, just click here. Okay. Once you click there, the student, user, or whichever user that logged in last, you'll be prompted to enter password. So you put in the password here and press enter, then you gain access to your screen. This is where we left off. Okay, and I'm going to walk you through what each of these icons mean, or most of them mean. Okay, on the top right here, you will see the button for power off. If you click on that button, we can select the lock key here to lock the screen. We'll lock the screen. The screen will be locked. But if you don't do that, when you step out, after some time of inactivity, the system will lock the screen. Okay, if you click on it, if you click on your icon again, you type the password for the user, you will be logged back. But if you don't want your system to time out, if you don't want your system to lock you out, press on this power button, you go to settings. Then under here, you come to you look at this menu here, you click on power. Then on the right side here, you see under power saving options, you see blank screen. After 5 minutes, the screen will go blank to save you from intruders. But if you click on the drop down menu, you can change it from 1 minute to 2, 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes, or you can set it to never. If you choose never, the system will never go blank screen again. But for security reasons, it is set to time out. After 5 minutes, your screen will lock you out. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Still again on that power button, if you look here, you see wired connected. That is the network. If this thing is not connected, then you're not connected to any network. Bluetooth is turned off. If you click here, you can turn on Bluetooth if you wish to use Bluetooth on this virtual machine. I'm going to leave it turned off. Settings, this is where you can do a lot of settings. And Bluetooth, background notification, multitasking, that is that. If I click on it again, you see lock. This is where you can lock your screen. If you see here power off / logout. If you click on that, I can either restart the system from here, or power it off to shut it down, or suspend activity, or log out. Okay. The next icon here is this one is the speaker icon. If you drag it to increase the speaker, you can position it anywhere you want. Okay. The next one here is the network, like I explained. Without this being connected, you are not going to be able to have connection. Your system will not be able to communicate with your network to get an IP address and all other stuff. Okay, so on the left side here, if you look here, you see activities. If you click on activities, you will see these icons here. Okay, this is Firefox for browser. Remember that this virtual machine is a different computer altogether than your laptop. You can go to the browser, open up a browser, and we'll go to the internet. So it is it's going to launch Firefox browser, as you can see. The default page is redhat.com. I can go to cnn.com if you want. That opens cnn.com. This is a different browser than the computer's laptop browser. If you like, we can go to Unix Training Academy.com, and that will open up the Unix Training Academy website. So this is a different browser altogether. That is the Firefox. Okay, and if you click on this icon here for Firefox, you can quit. Once you select on quit, that browser will close. You go to activities again, you see this icon for file. This is our file explorer, similar to your file explorer in your laptop. If you click on that, then it's going to open a file explorer for you. You have different folders. You have your home page. Okay, in your home you have desktop, you have pictures, documents, public, you have download, you have template. These are all folders in your home directory. Okay, we're going to go and explain each of these later on. Then close it. You click on the activities icon again. You see the next icon, which is software. This is where you have your software. It shows up. We have Firefox, we have Cheeks and Vix, Eye of Gnome, gedit, and so on and so forth. Close that. You can see that our screen is full with all these commands we ran before. How do we clear the screen? Just type the command clear clear. You press enter, it clears your screen. You go to activities again. The next icon here is help. If you need help, you can always come here to click I need help. The help menu will open up for you. You can navigate and search for help on any topic or anything that you have concern about. This is the good about the graphical user interface. Okay. If you click on the icon again, the next icon here is the terminal. If you click on that, then you have this terminal window, which we are using to fire our commands. If you don't want this terminal window, which is already open, you click on the terminal here, you click on quit. You quit. Okay. If you click on activities again, you see the terminal window, you see show other applications icon, this hamburger icon here, or this dots. If you click on that, you see summary icons that pull up, including the disk usage analyzer, your radar subscription, settings, system monitor, and so on and so forth. We'll get to see some of these as we go, including your calculator that you have on your normal laptop. Okay, so this is how to navigate the GUI environment. On the left here, we see files. We can either create a new virtual machine, or new window, or scan for virtual machines, and so on. You go to edit, you have some options. You go to view, you can view full screen, you can view the console. If you click on VM, there are so many options here, which includes to power off your VM. If you hover on power, you can either shut it down, suspend it, or power it off. Okay. If you go to the next tab, you see your home or your workstation, server A, server B, if you want to go to any of them. Then you go to help. This is also another way we can get help by clicking here. The next icon here is showing this yellow vertical lines. If you click on that drop down menu, you see that the system is already running. As you can see, we can either shut down the guest operating system, or suspend it, or restart it, or power it off. Assuming I want to power it off, I will select power off. And if I click OK here, or power off here, then this machine will be powered off. I don't want to power it off yet. This icon is another icon that sends all control delete to the virtual machine, similar to you typing all control delete on your laptop, and the system will power off automatically in 60 seconds, or you power it off now, or you can cancel. Then the next is take a snapshot of this virtual machine. That is the next thing we're going to do in the next video, how to take a snapshot. Taking a snapshot means backing up your virtual machine. Then this icon is to revert to the virtual machine's parent snapshot. After you take a snapshot and you want to restore it from the snapshot, you can click that to revert, or you can click here to manage snapshots for your virtual machines. Here, this icon will show you hidden library. If you click on that, this library I was showing here has disappeared. But if I click on it again, you can see the library of virtual machines I have here on the left. So it can either be on the left, or if I click here, it will be at the bottom. You can see server A, server B here at the bottom. So they can either be here, or be both here and here. It's up to you if you want to display it at the bottom and also on the left. Assuming I only want to display them on the left, I will click here, then that will disappear from the bottom. This icon is, if you want to enter full screen, you click on that, then that will show you full screen, which will give you a larger room to work. And again, if you come back here and click on it again, it will stretch. Okay, if you go back here and click, it will take it away from full screen. So this is how to navigate through the virtual machine console when you are logged in, when you installed the graphical user interface. Of course, I cannot go without showing you the time. The time now is March 3rd, 1727. If you click on that, you can change your time. You assume your time is not correct. Or you can even put your system to do not disturb. If you put on do not disturb, nobody will disturb you. But I don't know how to do that. So this is it for this video. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Okay guys, welcome back. So as part of our lab setup, I am going to show you how to take a snapshot. A snapshot is just a backup of your server as it is as of today, so that if anything goes wrong, you can always restore the system from backup. We have finished configuring the servers, we have finished configuring the host names and the host files. The next thing now, before we start to delve into how to use the Red Hat operating system, we need to take a snapshot. So to take a snapshot, I am going to first of all power off the servers. I'm going to power off the workstation. Select power off. For server A, you select it. You go here and say power off. You power it off. And for server B, you select it. You go here and you click on power off. Power it off. So the three servers are all powered off. Now we need to take a snapshot. Let's start from the server B since we're already here. To take a snapshot, we can either do a right click here. I will go to snapshot. I will go to take a snapshot, or we go to VM here, click on the VM and go to snapshot. I'll click on take snapshot, or we click on this icon here to take a snapshot. Either of any of these places you'll be able to take a snapshot. So if you click here to take a snapshot, you will see this window that asks you for name of your snapshot. Give it a name that you can remember. We can say snapshot 1. Then give it a description. I can say this snapshot is taken after installation. Installation and configuring. Okay, after installing, say after installing and configuring host name and host file. Okay, you can put a date taken today or taken on March 3rd, 2025. This is the description of our snapshot. I can copy it. You can call it snapshot 1 or give it any name, and you click on take snapshot. So this snapshot of server B has been taken. We'll go to server A. We'll do the same thing on server A. We'll go here, click on take a snapshot. I'm going to call it snapshot 1 and the same description. I'll paste that description here. Okay, this is snap. I made a mistake here. Snapshot is taken after installing and configuring host name and host file. Host file should be 2 words. Okay, taken on March 3rd, 2025. Click on take snapshot. Do the same thing on the workstation. The snapshot should not take time because we don't really have anything going on the server. So the snapshot will just be taken momentarily. But if you have lots of things in your server and you take a snapshot of it, it might take time, a couple of minutes, before, even sometimes it takes hours, depending on what you have in it, for a snapshot to be fully taken. So for this, it is also a description. I will click on take snapshot. So going forward, if anything happens to this my workstation and I want to restore it to the state it was when I freshly installed it, all I have to do is to restore from the snapshot. And how do I restore from the snapshot? I'll go to the server itself, highlight the workstation, do a right click, go to snapshot, then you see this revert to snapshot 1. That is the name of the snapshot. If I click here, the system will ask you, by restoring this snapshot, the current state will be lost. Do you want to restore the snapshot? Assuming that my system becomes unusable and I want to really restore the snapshot from the original state as of today, I will say yes, and the system will restore the snapshot. I'm going to say no. And you can take as many snapshots as you want. If maybe the next 3 weeks I want to take a snapshot of the system as it is by that time, maybe I have installed some applications, I have done some configurations, I don't want to lose it in case the system breaks down or the system crashes. I can come and take a snapshot again. Go here, click on take snapshot. This one is going to be snapshot number 2. Give it a description and you click on take snapshot. But I don't want to take another snapshot. The one I've taken is okay. So, but you can take as many snapshots as possible and you can always restore to the snapshot on a particular date that you want. So that is it for taking a snapshot. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Richard. I will see you on the next video. Okay, I'm going to run a single command that will make a student user here a sudo. Just run this command, don't worry about it. Later on I will explain how everything works. Echo, you open your quote, all equals all space all, close the quote, and redirect this output to /etc sudoers.d, and before this all equals all here, I'm going to say student all equals all, redirect the output to etc sudoers.d / student. Press enter. You have made the student user a sudoer in server in the workstation. We'll do the same thing to server A. You're going to run this command as root. So I'm going to say echo, open your quote, student, sorry, it's not typing, echo, open the quote, student, all, open your bracket, type all, close the bracket, all equals all, space all, close the quotes, and redirect the output to etc sudoers.d / student. Sudo etc su, you got to spell this wrong, right? Sudo was sudoers.d. That's correct. And press enter. All student, all equals all. Okay. So we'll do the same thing on server B, we say echo. Make sure you press inside this blank space so what you're typing will be showing. Echo, open the bracket, student all equals all space all, close your quote, use this double greater than sign, direct it to etc sudo was.d/student. This command gives the student user sudo privilege on all the servers. So if you want to test out on the workstation, type exit and get out of the root account, then type, now you're a student here, so you type sudo -l. You give the password for the student user, Red Hat. You see all means that the student student may run the following commands on this workstation. All. Okay, all equals all. Same thing on server A. If you type, we are root here, we can actually also find the command the student user can run here by typing sudo -l -U and put the user student. So you can find out the command a user can run. You can see here, student user may run the following commands: all equals all, all. Same thing on server B. You can say sudo -l -U, and we'll put the name of the user is student, and record the command. This is sudo and not ss sudo. So you can see here all equals all. Okay, so that means that the student user can run elevated privilege on this server. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one. Linux powers everything from smartphones to supercomputers and dominates the server and cloud computing world. You also discover the true power of open source software that anyone can inspect, modify, and share. Open source drives innovation, improves security, and reduces costs. We explore different Linux distributions like Fedora, CentOS Stream, and Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Each serves a unique purpose, from rapid innovation to enterprise-level stability and support. Red Hat plays a major role in the Linux ecosystem, sponsoring Fedora, maintaining CentOS Stream, and developing RHEL. Through the Red Hat Developers Program, students and professionals can get access to free learning tools and resources. Finally, you learn how to obtain Linux, whether by downloading Fedora, signing up for a free RHEL developer subscription, using virtual machines, or launching cloud instances on AWS or Azure. This chapter laid a strong foundation. Up next, you will explore how to work with Linux at the command line, where the power begins, where we take you hands-on from beginning all the way to when you become an expert in using Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Ready to dive deeper? Let's keep learning, because at UTA we learn IT by doing. This wraps up this chapter. Do a quick review. Make sure you do the gathered exercises, and when you're ready, jump into the hands-on lab. Got this, guys. I will see you in the next chapter.